This is mutation number 179, Endless Sparkles with Han Horner P1. You thought 60 tries for Double Trouble was bad? This one was worse because it took about the same number of tries, but I was able to consistently get to the 4th or 5th ship, which means that each run was at least like 20 minutes. And man, I had to think of ways to survive. I tried P2, then I went back to P1 because I knew the mag mines were really good. So it's just, man, so many different things. Tried mass reapers, some Hellion assistants, or like mass battle cruisers, mass Vikings. And in the end, one strat was better than the others. So, and even so, I had to be very lucky, which you'll see. So I tested, and it turns out that I can defend the first ship. However, if I defend the first ship, the second and third ships are stronger, and I actually won't have a good enough economy anyways, so I'm gonna lose a ship at some point. And I sacrificed quite a lot of minerals to defend the first ship because I need to make lots of hellbats. I had to get early upgrades, the hellbat upgrades, in order to make them usable, and instead of making like strike fighters or more SCVs. So it's a kind of an economic hit. So I decided to just dump the first ship. And here, we're going to get some hellbats and we're going to do some kiting. So with the plus 50 damage upgrade, these broodlings, they die really quickly. So it's just hit, run, away from the explosions. I don't need 10 strike fighters early on, the strike fighter platforms. I only need like 5. So they're mostly for assistance. I'm actually using stronger death chance because of that. And because of all these sparkles, lots of things die. And not great. So I don't want to waste mines, even though it looks like I have a lot. I don't waste mines. See, I don't use mines unless I have something like good. So I use 1 there. That's all I need. Who needs to throw 3 mines when 1 can do the same job? Alright, and then here we're gonna expo. I'm expanding on this side because if the wave comes from the left side, it'll fly over my refineries, and if I kill the stuff there, the explosions might destroy my SCVs. Here we're gonna use Calm the Fleet, clear out some stuff on that side. And I'm gonna I have 1 hellbat at home for this just because I knew that there would be leaks. And then kill these buildings. Kill all those guys. All good. Fear is nice. And with P1 double the stronger death chance, and P1 the enemies have they get feared even more, and there's a wider radius, I believe. This supply depot is to stop broodlings from hitting my gas, which happens. So I'm getting my 4th and 5th galleons, but I only need 3 for this is technically the new first ship, and I want to start the ship at around 10:30 so that I can use this, what's that called, space station by 18:30. No, by 12:30, so that I can use it again at 18:30. I had a lot of different timings, and it's hard to see, but I'm actually individually microing hellbats because I want to leave some at home. I want to leave some at home in key places so that trickles like the broodling trickles won't kill me. The MVP of this run is probably the mag mine, because the mag mines pull broodlings away from the ship. There's something else to hit, and then they will die there. In earlier runs, I used the space station on the 13-minute wave, and I found out that's too late. So yeah, I decided to use the space station earlier. I also used to set off the 6 o'clock ship before the left side one, but that turned out to be not as good because the space station was pretty nice against all those banshees. I've called the fleet again and then used that to clear. Calling the fleet is pretty mediocre. It's good for hitting stuff, pretty much. And I have, as you can see at the north of my expo, I have 2 hellbats to catch trickles. And here I'm using mostly the carrier gallons to push in, and now Vikings. The Vikings on the ground. This is the first time, I think it's like the first time actually using them. I want to have 4 galleons. I want 1 at home because attack waves go there, and I want to spread the other 4 around because their interceptors are actually good for stalling, and I want to trigger this manually because if I don't, the timings for my cooldowns will be messed up. So I have some hellbats for extra damage, and you can see for attack speed boost, and you can see they on crack they shoot like crazy, and they're really good here. Strike fighters will be used on the clumps of banelings, or the volatile infested, and I'm making a few hellbats, but mostly hellions. And you can see here, I actually saved the space station for that. I didn't need to dump the mag mines at the side of the base, but they'll be used later anyway, so it's alright. Alright, and there's 1 Brûlé. I don't want to move anyone back, so we'll just use 1 strike fighter. Strike fighters aren't that useful for this one anyways. Okay, I want to just send in these guys. Okay, Raven to make sure I can see the banshees, and then clear all that. And now that all that's cleared, I will send in the galleons will go to clear the left side, and then SCVs will use some of those minerals to make a nice wall. It's nice to have chunky walls. One clump. That's all. 1 mag mine, or 1 set of mag mines, and then calling the fleet. It's not that great, but just use it, and then use strike fighters, clear the rest. Ravens detect the banshees, focus them down. Make some turrets and then I can double wall, double layer. Alright. Now that the Ravens his job is done, he can just kind of hang out. Just kind of hang out there, be invisible. This guy also be invisible. Finish up this wall. Wall probably wasn't thick enough. I want to manually start this ship as well. The only ship that I won't manually start is the last one, because then by that time it's the last one anyways. Not manually starting a ship causes problems. I send some hellbats to the back because I want to manually send the hellbats in. The panic launch is at 23:30, so I started a little bit before that. My galleons were slightly out of position. But yeah, so the mag mines were perfect, so they killed all that stuff, and then hellbats got that. Now we're gonna use the space station when the hybrids show up, and we're gonna split the galleons, so they can split the carrier galleons so that they stall the infested marines elsewhere, and then sending in hellbats like pretty much 1 at a time, dropping mag mines occasionally just to like kill them. And I didn't even realize that the timer was up, so I was surprised. I thought I had like 30 more seconds or something, which was nice. And now the next ship panic launch is at 27, and I wasn't even ready, and that's because I made a huge mistake. I had forgotten to start building a lot sooner. So now it's just panic mode. I sent everyone, and I sent 1 guy back, and then I need to manually trigger this. I have to manually trigger this one because I can't let the panic launch happen. Otherwise, timings will be off again. So here, I had mag mines, I think, and they did most of the work. And now I'll just build lots of build lots of engineering bays all over, calling the fleet to help out. Mainly want to kill those. I use the battle cruisers to manually target the banshees, because the banshees don't hit. They're usually like getting free reign if I don't do that. And all right, time. I have some time left. Just build some more buildings to stall. I can't believe that one actually worked out. So here, kill this stuff. And now I want to put my Vikings as the last line of defense. I wanted some earlier, but I don't want them to die, so I'm just going to put them behind this barrier. And the battle cruisers are on the left because I want to kill the banshees that come from that side. And then I get a raven here to spot for the banshees from the other side. Manually strike down. I want to save the space station for later. I need to manually target the banshees. I missed the target. Okay. And here, just like stall as long as possible. This one was just crazy because like things are dying. I have some money, but like you see all those aberrations? It's nuts. Okay, there's just barely made it because I had to pull up everything and use mag mines to pull the guys away. And thank goodness that worked, because this was harder than Cold is the Void.